Good evening. You're now watching TVS Nightline. We begin with this story. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim says he is open to the idea of pay cuts for cabinet ministers if the nation's economic situation takes a turn for the worse. But he says any final decision would depend on the severity of the financial pressure and the immediate needs of the country.
Gaji kita relatif memang rendah gaji menteri. Yang penting itu dikerja dengan baik. Saya tak ada masalah, saya tak ambil gaji, tapi gaji itu hak mereka. Sehingga mereka kerja dengan baik, saya ingat bersabarlah. Walau bagaimanapun, tak ada halangan kalau keadaan ekonomi ini lebih runcing, difikirkan.
The Prime Minister's comments come as Malaysia weighs whether to follow Indonesia's lead in implementing fiscal tightening to manage rising economic pressures. Indonesia is reportedly considering cabinet pay cuts, though officials emphasize that the plan is still in the early stages of discussion. According to an international portal, Cabinet Secretary Teddy Indra Wijaya confirmed that no final decision has been made as the proposal continues to be reviewed. One of 7 Malaysian-owned vessels is currently stranded in the Strait of HORMUZ due to critical damage, preventing it from exiting the volatile trade route. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim confirms that while one ship has safely reached Malaysian shores and another is nearing national waters, the remaining ship is facing ongoing logistical hurdles.
Satu dah sampai, satu hampir masuk dalam perairan Malaysia dan mana dua. Yang lain itu dengan keputusan baru walaupun tak lepas, tetapi kita masih pantau. Dari segi kelulusan, memang Iran telah memberi kelulusan kepada 7, tapi 1 punya masalah kerusakan, tak boleh berlepas daripada pelabuhan. Tapi dengan keadaan terbaru ini kita ada hadapi masalah sedikit.
Addressing reporters earlier today, Anwar reiterated Malaysia's stance on the freedom of maritime passage, maintaining a neutral diplomatic approach amid escalating geopolitical tensions involving major global powers. With the West Asia crisis and global geopolitical tensions driving up fuel costs, the Sarawak government is moving to reduce its reliance on oil as a primary energy source. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Joritan Openg says rising diesel prices have become a key factor in the push for these proactive energy alternatives. Abang Johari says Sarawak is now shifting its focus toward hydrogen and other alternative sources as part of a long-term strategy for a more sustainable energy future.
Mari awak anak saya, hidrogen tu mahal. Macam-macam orang nak. Dengar aja lah. Kita serah kepada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Hanya kita kajikan teknologinya. Minggu lepas, saya dengan saintis, saya berbicara, buat angka, harga diesel hari itu, diesel lebih mahal daripada hidrogen. Hidrogen nampaknya murah daripada diesel. Dan kita nak gunakan hidrogen. Hidrogen kita ambil daripada air, sungai kita banyak air. Sebab biarlah satu-satunya pendekatan kita nak nambahkan air, termasuk Saribas Water Treatment Plant akan ditambah di kawasan itu.
Speaking at a Meet the Leaders gathering in the Saribas State constituency, he noted that this energy transition began 6 years ago when the government started replacing diesel generators with solar power in Baram's longhouses.
6 tahun ya teh, saya dah pakai generator set, pakai solar panel dengan baterinya, dan setidaknya si bayar elektrik dulu kerana kita solar. Makai cahaya matahari. Apa yang berlaku waktu itu? Kalau dia makai diesel, hari itu harga diesel 3 kali ganda. Bayarlah kita berapa terpaksa kita bayar diesel. Ya pun diesel ada. Ada kedai sedap smuggle diesel out of stock.
Sarawak's rural infrastructure gets a major upgrade as the newly named Jalan Lubok Tamang redefines the economic landscape in Debak. Abang Johari officially unveiled the 35 million ringgit project earlier today, describing it as a strategic catalyst for both regional transportation and modern agriculture. The 9.5-kilometer stretch now connects Kampong Suri to Kampong Manggut and Kampong Tui, providing direct benefits to over 3,000 residents. Featuring 2 new bridges across Sungai Jerai and Sungai Lubok Selubang, the route drastically cuts travel time for the community. Beyond connectivity, the road serves as the primary artery to the 763-hectare Lubok Taman Agro Park, a hub targeting the annual production of 10 million pandan coconuts for the global market.
Di bawah melihat Agro Park Taman, di mana menggunakan menanamkan niau kelapa. Kelapa tadi diolahnya satu brand dan kini itu kelapanya yang dikeluarkan di Bagan Datuk Perak dijual ke negeri China. Jadi kita minta syarikat itu nanamkan niau di Debak. Ia menjadi anchor company, iaitu syarikat yang boleh membelikan niau. Orang kampung boleh nanam niau di kawasan yang pun dan jual kepada syarikat itu. Mana you have guaranteed market. Jadi orang kampung bersama dengan syarikat yang boleh membeli secara banyak.
Under the Project Rakyat initiative, large-scale planting is set to begin in June 2026, opening up new opportunities for local agropreneurs and driving regional growth. Meanwhile, the Sarawak Premier is joining hundreds of locals at the Satria Pertiwi complex tonight to wrap up the Gedong district's Aidilfitri celebrations. The gathering is concluding following a keynote address by the Premier and a ceremony honoring local district chiefs for their service. For the latest highlights as the event wraps up, we have Lorenzo Isaac on the line.
All right, thank you, Razi. Addressing the residents at the Sri Pertiwi complex during a Ramah Tamah dinner tonight, Premier Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg has highlighted a significant technological leap for Sarawak's downstream sector. The Premier has revealed that a local scientist from Gedong at the Sarawak Biodiversity Centre has identified a breakthrough relating to palm oil byproducts. The research focuses on the conversion of palm fatty acid distillate, or PFAD, according to the Premier, into sustainable aviation fuel. Abang Johari described that this breakthrough as a critical pillar of Sarawak's new economy, where traditional agricultural waste is transformed into high-value exports through modern science. According to him, in his speech earlier tonight, this innovation is deeply linked to the state's post-COVID-19 development strategy 2030, as Sarawak looks to transition from raw commodities to becoming a global provider of green energy solutions. The Premier also has noted that having a local scientist lead these discoveries proves that Sarawak's talent pool is ready to compete on the world stage, turning districts like Gedong into hubs for new technology. By capitalizing on the sustainable aviation fuel market, the state aims to secure new revenue streams while simultaneously reducing the carbon footprint of the aviation industry, and also amid the global turmoil in the war by West Asia. According to the Premier, this is only the beginning of a broader shift towards a knowledge-based economy that prioritizes both environmental sustainability and industrial growth. For now, this is Lorenzo Isaac reporting for the news.
Thanks, Lorenzo. In other news, a baby who underwent a historic in-utero surgery to repair spina bifida at Sarawak General Hospital last September is thriving. Health Minister Dato' Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad confirms the 4-month-old infant is growing healthily. with clinical checks showing normal respiratory, swallowing, and excretory functions. In a Facebook post today, the minister highlights the success of this advanced prenatal treatment, noting that multidisciplinary collaboration is drastically improving the quality of life for pediatric patients. During a visit to the hospital on Thursday, Zulkifli met with the surgical team responsible for the pioneering procedure, the first of its kind in Malaysian history. The fragile ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon is facing its first major test today. Just hours after the U.S.-brokered truce took effect, the Lebanese army is accusing Israel of multiple violations in the south, reporting intermittent shelling and airstrikes. It was barely dry on the agreement when Lebanon's military took to social media, citing a string of Israeli attacks across the southern border. In response, the army is urging displaced residents to stay away from their homes for now, warning that the security risk remains too high, especially under the cover of night. The heart of the friction lies in the 10-kilometer quote-unquote security zone inside Lebanese territory. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu insists his forces aren't going anywhere. Hezbollah calls the move an occupation, saying it gives them every right to continue their resistance. The 10-day truce is a high-stakes diplomatic gamble. If both sides show restraint, it opens the door for reconstruction aid and permanent peace talks. But if these skirmishes escalate, the truce could collapse as quickly as it began, wiping out months of rare U.S.-facilitated momentum. The outcome will hinge on Israeli military aggression, Hezbollah's posture, and sustained international mediation. The ceasefire appears to be holding in Iran, with normal life resuming along the Strait of Hormuz, despite ongoing tensions with the U.S. and Israel. In this exclusive look at the ground situation in Iran, RT correspondent Mojtaba Biglari reports from Bandar Abbas, where authorities maintain tight control over maritime movement, even as claims by U.S. President Donald Trump of a blockade are disputed.
We are in the city of Bandar Abbas. As you can see, we are by the coast near the Haghani Pier. And behind me, you can see various domestic and foreign oil tankers and ships that have anchored here and are not allowed to pass without the permission of the Iranian military. But on my left side, life is going on. If my colleague shows this, people are continuing their lives normally. A ceasefire is in effect, and people no longer care much about the war conditions. Life has returned to its normal course. We see that the streets are crowded. People have come to the coast of Bandar Abbas in the afternoon. They have enlivened the city's coast with their presence. The Strait of Hormuz is in complete safety and security. There is no news of a naval blockade. Iranian ships and oil tankers and those of friendly countries, like China, can easily leave through here and have no problems with their entry and exit. Countries that are hostile to Iran, including those with American bases, are not allowed to pass. Although a person named Mr. Trump, the President of the United States, might claim that they are allowed to pass, apparently he is in a parallel world, in a parallel Strait of Hormuz, in another world, where he has given them permission and has imposed a naval blockade on the Strait of Hormuz.
And that's it for TVS Nightline. Thanks for watching and have a good night.